46 नए डाकघर भी सैंक्शन किए गए। अध्यक्ष जी, डाक सर्विस में करीब पोस्टल नेटवर्क में 1,28,000 लोगों को नया रोजगार दिया गया है। इसी तरह से डिजिटल नेटवर्क के 1,60,000 डाकघरों को कोर बैंकिंग और डिजिटल बैंकिंग से जोड़ा गया है। 13,500 डाकघरों में आधार सेवा केंद्र खोले गए हैं। अब तक 8.5 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोग इसका लाभ उठा चुके हैं। 3 करोड़ से ज़्यादा सुकन्या समृद्धि खाते खोले गए। तो अध्यक्ष जी, इस तरह से एक तरीके से डाकघर को एक पूरी तरीके से परिवर्तित किया गया है और आज का ये जो बिल है इसी परिवर्तन का एक साक्ष्य है। मैं आपसे निवेदन करूंगा सभी मान्यवर सांसदों से भी इसको यूनानिमसली पास करने के लिए डिबेट करें।
श्री शशि थरूर जी।
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise today on behalf of my party to note some very grave concerns regarding this Post Office Bill 2023. I had hoped to welcome this bill because many reasons, sir. As former chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee overseeing the Postal Department, I had repeatedly flagged the need to revise and repeal the Indian Post Office Act 1898, a colonial legacy long past its expiry date. But over the past decade, we've often seen this government, in the guise of decolonizing our minds and updating colonial-era laws, bringing in legislation that is equally, if not more, arbitrary and unreasonable, and that more often than not encroaches upon the fundamental rights of countless Indians. Sadly, so it is with this bill. Even as it seeks to revise the colonial bill, this bill retains its draconian and colonial provisions, that too while eliminating the burden of accountability which a governmental enterprise like India Post ought constitutionally to shoulder. And sadly, it offers no new ideas to bring our post offices into the 21st century. As someone who has great respect for the minister, I am disappointed to see him putting this.
Well, of course, viewers, there you heard it. But of course, what we are being given to understand is that there has been a huge security breach in the Lok Sabha. 2 intruders, in fact, jumped from the gallery. They were carrying these yellow smoke canisters. They were seen, in fact, jumping inside the Lok Sabha chamber, completely, jumping all over the place. And, in fact, from what we are being given to understand is that the anti-terror unit special cells of Delhi has arrived inside the parliament to question the people who caused the security breach at the Lok Sabha. So, of course, the latest that we're tracking for you, we are, of course, yet to determine whether these yellow smoke canisters that were in fact used, whether they're hazardous by nature, that is yet to be determined. Who are these people? Who are these 2 intruders who in fact entered the chambers? All of these are lots and lots of unanswered questions. We, of course, wait to hear more on this.
क्षेत्रों में रहने वाली लोगों के लिए भी है।
सभा की कार्यवाही 2 बजे तक स्थगित की जाती है।
Again, viewers, of course, if you see on the left side of your screens, you'll see, of course, those visuals. We had, in fact, we'll quickly play those visuals for you so that you can understand what, in fact, did take place inside the Lok Sabha. Of course, you see that box over there. That's where the intruder came from. You can see how he's jumping across tables, has completely ransacked the entire place.
में रहने वाली लोगों के लिए भी है।
सभा की कार्यवाही 2 बजे तक स्थगित की जाती है।
In fact, take a look at the center visual over there, which in fact, if I could request my team to quickly pan to what I have here on my screen so I can showcase a full visual of that little box over there. I can show you exactly what took place after these two intruders were in fact detained. You can see, of course, you can see a police personnel. You can see two, in fact, carrying the first intruder. He again has that canister in his hand, unwilling to leave it up until a second policeman comes, snatches it from his hand and then takes him, detains him. And again, a woman police officer taking the second intruder, who's in fact, even after being detained, she's continuing to protest. In fact, these are the latest visuals that are coming in as far as this massive security breach is concerned. Here you have it, viewers. I'm going to quickly walk you through these visuals. As you can see, there is if you see over here, there's a red gas canister that is also there, and of course a yellow one. You can see how this man is being held by a police officer. And again, he is, of course, as I was telling you, unwilling to let go of this canister. And here comes in another officer who's, in fact, as you can see over here, snatching the gas canister from his hand, and then, of course, he's being detained. Meanwhile, my colleague Manohar Kesari joins us on the broadcast to give us more on this. Manohar, what details can you tell us on this?
देखिए, बिल्कुल जिस प्रकार से हादसा हुआ है और पार्लियामेंट जो सबसे सुरक्षित जगह माना जाता है, वहाँ की गैलरी में दर्शक दीर्घा जो विजिटर गैलरी है, वहाँ से लोकसभा के जहाँ पर तमाम सांसद बैठे होते हैं, वहाँ पर उन्होंने जंप किया है। उसके बाद 2 o'clock के लिए लोकसभा को एडजर्न करना पड़ा था। उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी पुलिस से पार्लियामेंट थाने, जैसा कि अभी तक को पता चल रहा है, पार्लियामेंट थाने लाया गया है। उनसे इंट्रोगेशन किया जा रहा है कि जो किस तरह से लोग हैं, नहीं, और सारी चीजें रूल आउट की जा रही है। जी,
of course. But do we have an understanding on these two intruders that entered? Do we know anything about them? I mean, what was the agenda behind this this chaos that in fact took place in the Lok Sabha?
देखिए, बिल्कुल आज जो है सो पार्लियामेंट अटैक की 22वीं बरसी है। आज संसद भवन पर हमला हुआ था और तमाम शहीदों को श्रद्धांजलि दी गई थी। और भारत हमेशा जो है सो ऐसी चीजों के खिलाफ खड़ा रहता है और डट करके खड़ा रहता है। लेकिन जहां तक इस मामले का सवाल है, तो अभी तक पूरी तरह से जानकारी नहीं मिल पाई है। सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस इसकी जानकारी इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं, उनसे पूछताछ कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद ही कुछ कह पाना संभव होगा कि आखिरकार ये लोग कौन थे, क्या इनका मकसद था, क्या स्थिति थी, ये सारी चीजें। जी,
Right, absolutely. Manohar, stay on with us. We're also, in fact, at this point of time being joined by Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you so much for joining us on NewsX. Of course, the shocking security breach which has in fact taken place inside the parliament. Now, again, if we circle back to the 2001 parliament attack, it did take place on this day. I mean, what do you want to say on this?
Well, to tell you the truth, ma'am, this is the most shocking thing we have heard. I mean, somebody now blatantly undermining the entire authority and sovereignty of my nation, while playing monkeying around in the parliament along with one lady and one young gentleman. Absolutely clear. They're trying to celebrate the old event. It's okay. They may be doing it, but the question is, first thing, there are a lot of things would have to be answered. First thing is, before we come to who they are, first thing we have to find out how did they enter? What sort of a security system there is? What is the SOP? What is this yellow canister gas? Is it the normal training color smoke which is used during military training, etc.? Or is it something else? And how did they get it? Who are the suppliers? What sort of an X-ray and what sort of frisking is there? All this thing, and which is the agency? Is the agency trained into this game, or is it just an ad hoc? Somebody has placed it for a good posting. A. Then secondly, which is this party which is involved? How come and let us now revise what is the punishment for this? If we are going to undermine our own self, then we'll keep having it every 6 days. Have somebody is walking into parliament, somebody burning a flag on Republic Day, from the Red Fort, and we just, like a soft nation, keep just watching around. I mean, this is very, very serious. It is not a joke, what I'm witnessing at the moment. I actually cannot explain my feelings to you. But people, all these foreign NGOs and all who come, who instigate these activities, they just walk away with our democratic system.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. This is very, very serious, and there are lots and lots of unanswered questions. In fact, I'm being told that the Speaker of the House, Om Birla, is right now speaking. Let's quickly listen in.
क्योंकि सदन के पटल पर जब तक विस्तृत इंक्वायरी नहीं आ जाए, जब तक उस पर मेरी तरफ से सदन बोले, लेकिन प्रारंभिक जांच के अंदर जो प्रारंभिक जांच आए वो दोनों लोग पकड़ लिए गए हैं, उनकी सारी सामग्री को जब्त कर लिया गया है और जो 2 लोग बाहर थे उनको भी गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है। एक मिनट रुको ना।
So, of course, viewers, there you heard it, an update by the Speaker of the House. Still with us, in fact, on the broadcast is Wing Commander Praful Bakshi. Of course, now what we are being given to understand is that, everyone's safe. Nothing tragic has happened. That's very, very fortunate. But again, lots and lots of unanswered questions. And as you were saying, there should, in fact, there should be something set up in order. There should be a high-level probe that should be, in fact, should take place.
Not only a high-level probe, you will have to change entire system. When the people enter, it could be possible that the canisters were already inside. Who brought them inside? Probably there's an inside game going on. If I was a security officer, I would have. First thing I'll do is I'll change the order of frisking. Even the member of parliament will have to be checked now. You cannot trust anybody. God knows who has brought this. Tomorrow there'll be a very lethal weapon being brought in. Tomorrow somebody will bring actual chemical weapon or a biological substance. What will happen then? Any agency which has allowed this to happen and supported it, they can be having an outside contact. Obviously, Pakistan is wanting to undermine our authority. Last time they did it, they made us a laughing stock. Again, today they are making us a laughing stock. So we are at the moment, at that juncture, that until we wake up and change the entire procedures, SOPs, and write the doctrine once again. I have been always harping on this, to sound like a parrot, that internal security doctrine has to go in for a big change. And that is the first thing we have to do. We just don't have to put policemen everywhere. Are they trained? Who has trained them? What sort of training is there? How did this happen? This is extremely serious, madam.
Right, sir, absolutely. In fact, I'm going to request my PCR to quickly show what I have here on my screen. Of course, we can see on the left side of your screen what did in fact transpire inside the Lok Sabha. But here we have a larger and a clearer visual to show you exactly the series of events that did in fact transpire inside the Lok Sabha chamber. So here you can see this man who's just entered. We've been given to understand that he entered from inside the library. You can see how he's just jumping across tables, and everyone's of course alarmed by what has happened over here. Here's the man, here's the intruder who did in fact enter from the library. You can see how parliamentarians have all, it looks like an absolutely chaotic environment. Parliamentarians are in fact running towards this man. They want to catch hold of him. So of course there was swift action that did in fact take place inside the Lok Sabha. Again, you can see this man jumping from table to table. He's understood that he has absolutely no way out. He's still moving around. So, of course, this is exactly what took place inside the Lok Sabha. Who this man is, why did he in fact orchestrate this massive security breach on 13th of December? That these are all unanswered questions. We still, of course, want to know the answers to these questions. But, of course, so, of course, this is the latest that we are being given to understand. Meanwhile, I'm being told that we also have another bite coming in. If I could request my PCR to just play it out for our viewers.
सदन के पटल पर जब तक विस्तृत इंक्वायरी नहीं आ जाए, जब तक उस पर मेरी तरफ से सुन बोले, लेकिन प्रारंभिक जांच के अंदर जो प्रारंभिक जांच आए वो दोनों लोग पकड़ लिए गए हैं, उनकी सारी सामग्री को जब्त कर लिया गया है और जो 2 लोग बाहर थे उनको भी गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है। एक मिनट रुको ना,
सदन के अंदर उतर गए और हाथ में कुछ थी, उसे भारी भरकम मतलब गैस निकलते थे और थोड़ा मतलब सदन के अंदर हमारे सारे एमपी जितने साथी हैं वो पकड़ लिए दोनों को, कोई सिक्योरिटी वाले नहीं, सारे एमपी उनको पकड़ लिए। तो उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी फोर्स भी उनको बाहर निकल गए थे, निकाले। बाकी तो 2 बजे तक सदन अभी बंद है, एडजर्नमेंट कर दिए गए हैं। लेकिन देखने की बात यह है कि आज सुबह हम सब मिलकर हमारी ये सदन की जो हमला हुई थी 2001 साल में, उन शहीदों को आज हम याद किए, पुष्पार्पण किए और आज ही नया सदन में इस तरीके की हमला हुई। हमला मतलब जो भी हो, लेकिन ये तो मुझे लगता है कि चूक तो है, कहीं ना कहीं चूक तो हुई, सिक्योरिटी में बिल्कुल चूक हुई, हमारे सुरक्षा व्यवस्था में चूक तो है। तो नया पार्लियामेंट में भी कुछ ऐसा हो गया।
It was a terrible experience. It is inside the floor of the house. Suddenly we found 2 persons jumped and one is coming gradually forward. What is the target? How? Why they are moving like this? Nobody could guess. Suddenly some smoke started penetrating. It's a yellowish color. So all were in a nervous mood. I was expecting maybe they are going to blast something or maybe they are going to shoot somewhere. But ultimately all left the house. It is a security lapse. Today is the day. We should not forget that it is the day particular when our parliament was attacked.
पब्लिक गैलरी से 2 लोग कूद गए और एकदम से धुआं जो है वो उठने लगा, अफरा तफरी मच गई। लेकिन उन दोनों लोगों को पकड़ लिया गया है। अभी फिलहाल जो पता चला है, कोई एक का नाम जिसका मैंने पास देखा सिक्योरिटी ऑफिशियल्स के साथ, कोई सागर करके है और वो हमारे जो मैसूर के सांसद है माननीय प्रताप सिम्हा जी, उनके गेस्ट के रूप में हुआ है।
तो किस तरह का गैस था
अब ये क्या बताइए, सिक्योरिटी का काम है।
हालांकि कोई आप लोग को दिक्कत हुआ सांसदों को उस गैस से?
नहीं, कोई ऐसा नहीं, लेकिन भगदड़ मच गई, लेकिन उनको पकड़ लिया गया, दोनों लोग कस्टडी में।
लोकसभा में संसद चलती, शून्य प्रहर का चल रहा था, उसी में अचानक 2 व्यक्ति अपने गैलरी से कूदे मतलब पहले वो आगे वाले पिलर को लटकते रहे, लटकने के बाद में कूद पड़े, एक के पीछे दूसरा भी कूदा। कूदने के बाद में दोनों ने बेंच के ऊपर से कूदना स्टार्ट कर दिया। एक बीच में आ गया, फिर तो उसने जूते उतारे। तब तक वो सोच रहा था किधर भागो, तो चारों तरफ से सांसद आ गए, जब पकड़ लिया उसको, दूसरे को भी पकड़ लिया, पीछे को भी। उसके बाद में अचानक गैस आना स्टार्ट हुआ, तो उसके जूते में था, कहीं था मालूम नहीं था। येलो कलर का गैस है, थोड़ा सा बर्निंग हो रहा है नाक में उसके। तो वहाँ हम थे, तो बाद में पुलिस पकड़ लिया। एक मुझे लगता है एक को पकड़ा हुआ है, अभी भी दूसरे को भी पकड़ा हुआ है, अंदर अभी चल रही हो।
तो मेरी सीट है, उसके ऊपर गैलरी की तरफ से पहले एक कूदा, फिर दूसरा कूदा, और जो अंदर चलने की जगह होती है उसके बजाय 20 सीट से सीटों को ऊपर कर कूद के आ रहे थे। तो हम 7-8 एमपी उसकी तरफ भागे और जब उसको लगा कि घेर लिए, तो एक ने उसमें से एक जूता निकाला और जूते में से कोई चीज निकाली, और जैसे ही निकाल के उसने कोई चीज खोली तो धुआं निकलना शुरू हुआ। फिर हम लोगों ने पकड़ के उसकी पिटाई भी की, फिर सिक्योरिटी वाले भी आ गए, फिर उठाकर रख के लेके गए हैं। कुछ तानाशाही नहीं चलेगी, इस तरह का कुछ वो बोल रहा था।
और यहाँ मुश्किल से 4 दिन पिछला सेशन और ये 6 दिन, 1 हफ्ते का ये सेशन, ये घटना हो गई। तो ये हमको लगता है ये पार्लियामेंट ही बड़ा अब शकुनी है भाई।
अब और क्या कहें, इसमें सुरक्षा की व्यवस्था और होनी चाहिए। दूसरे सेंट्रल हॉल नहीं, आप जानिए, जहां हम लोग सब राज्यसभा लोकसभा के लोग एक साथ मिलकर के गपशप कर लेते थे और एक सीमित दायरा था, सब एक दूसरे से मुलाकात हो सकती थी, तो वो भी चला गया है। तो एक तो सुरक्षा की व्यवस्था करनी चाहिए और दूसरे कुछ और सुविधाएं देना चाहिए हम लोगों को।
उसके बाद हम सभी एमपी वहां पर इकट्ठा होकर के उसको पकड़ने का काम किया, मारने पीटने का काम, उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी आई। तो ये बहुत बड़ी घटना है और जिस तरीके से ऐसे लोग लोकसभा की कार्रवाई देखने के लिए आते हैं, आज तो ये नॉर्मल घटना थी, लेकिन इसके बाद बहुत बड़ी घटना हो सकती है। इसको भारत सरकार को गंभीरता से लेने की जरूरत है।
हम सब लोग आगे बैठे हुए थे, ऊपर से जहाँ पर लॉबी बनी, ऊपर जहाँ पर अपने बैठते हैं, उसे एक बच्चा कूद, एक लड़का कूद के उसने और दौड़ने लगा वो पीठ की तरफ दौड़ने लगा। उसने जूता निकाला, जूते के निकाल के उसमें से एक उसने कुछ पाउच टाइप निकाला और उसमें येलो पीले कलर की गैस उसने छोड़ी। फिर वहाँ पे हमारे माने सभी सांसदों ने उसको पकड़े उसको पिटाई भी की, फिर उसको सिक्योरिटी को सौंपने का काम किया। 2 लोग थे वो।
So, of course, viewers, you heard what the parliamentarians had to say, but now, of course, on our big wall over here, let's quickly narrate the incident, that unfortunate incident that did in fact take place inside the Lok Sabha. Of course, here you have the intruder enter from the library side. He's now entered the Lok Sabha chamber. You can see him over here. He quickly then jumps on the first desk. You can see him make that swift jump. By this point of time, you can see that all the parliamentarians are aware of what's taking place. Again, he's jumped another table. So, of course, everyone was aware about what was happening. They were all shell-shocked. They knew there was something wrong going on. He, of course, got scared, took a little step back when he realized that he is in trouble. This intruder is in trouble. Quickly, of course, from the looks of it, does not know what to do, and he quickly makes a jump and he goes to the table ahead of it, and this is how things keep on transpiring. He's jumping from desk to desk, from table to table, not knowing what to do, because of course he's understood that he is in a lot of problem. And of course, after that, our parliamentarians have narrated the story. This man was of course in a lot of trouble. He took out his shoe. He took out the gun, I beg your pardon, the canister, the gas canister, and then of course there was a lot of yellow smog that was there inside the Lok Sabha. Our parliamentarians have just narrated that story to our viewers. So of course, again, the intruder that did in fact enter the Lok Sabha chambers on this very day. I'm going to quickly go back to my desk. We are also in fact being joined by Colonel G.S. Sodhi on the broadcast. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you so much for joining us on NewsX. Now, of course, we've narrated what happened inside the Lok Sabha. Our parliamentarians have told us exactly what transpired inside. The man took out his shoe and then he was running around with a gas canister that in fact it had yellow smoke all over the place. We in fact also showed our viewers visuals of when the two intruders were being detained, and even then they were absolutely shameless. They were still walking, they were still protesting. What do you want to say on this incident, sir?
Jayant Asawari, it's my honor to be on a news channel. It is a serious security breach and a matter of deep concern that these intruders have entered the sanctum sanctorum of the Indian democracy, that is the parliament. And the way your channel has shown that they jumped and for quite some time they had a free run clearly shows that we need a total revamp in the security system of the parliament, and also a high-level inquiry should be ordered immediately with a specific and an earlier time frame given, so that wherever there is laxity, strong and stern action should be taken. This incident coming exactly 22 years after the infamous parliament attack which was carried out sparks of deeper concern, and I'm sure that a lot of brainstorming will go on by the security agencies so that such a breach does not ever occur again.
All right, absolutely, sir, absolutely. It's very, very shocking to know, but in fact we're also been getting more updates on this particular development. In fact, we now know about the identity of this person. The man who jumped inside the Indian Parliament from visitors gallery and threw a smoke canister has been identified as Sagar Sharma. As per his Parliament pass, he was recommended for Parliament entry by MP Pratap Simha from Mysore. 4 people arrested till now. So, of course, big developments now coming in. We are being given to understand about the identity of this intruder who in fact stepped inside, created massive chaos. The man who jumped inside the Indian Parliament from visitors gallery and threw a smoke canister has been identified as Sagar Sharma. You can see that paper, you can see that document on your screen. And of course, he has been identified as Sagar Sharma as per his Parliament pass flashing right on your screens. He was in fact recommended for Parliament entry by MP Pratap Simha from Mysore. So again, the latest that we are tracking for you on the broadcast, and in fact to sort of show you an enlarged picture of this pass that in fact NewsX has been able to get for all our viewers. I have a larger picture of the same pass on my screen. We'll show our viewers. If I could quickly request my PCR to pan towards my system over here.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.